Hey guys, Aaron here. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to know about smoke detectors and how to properly replace one. So stick around. All right, there's a couple things that most people don't realize about smoke detectors. The first being that they do expire. I would say most of them nowadays last about 10 years. You can find them shorter. You can probably find them longer too. It really just depends on the brand and the type you buy. The other thing that's important is that the battery needs to be changed yearly. Now, this is not as big a deal with the ones that are hardwired in, but for the ones that actually are not hardwired and standalone units, it's important that the batteries change yearly so that they maintain functionality. Now, because most people don't realize it, the result, of course, is that the units never usually get changed out and the batteries only get replaced when they start chirping. All right, so because I know that most of these never actually get changed out, what I'll do is whenever I buy a new house or a new condo that's at least 10 years old, I'll go through and check the expiration dates on them. And to be honest, 90% of the time that expiration date's never filled out. So what I end up doing is I just buy a contractor pack or something, and I'll go through and I'll replace all the smoke detectors. The other thing is for the battery, usually that just means setting a yearly reminder to change it out, but not a big deal. All right, so now that we've determined it's time to change out the smoke detector, there's a few things we need to take into consideration. One is the type, two is the power supply, and three is what we want to do with it. All right, so there are three basic types of smoke detectors. You got ionization, you got photoelectric, and then you've got a combination of the two. Now, the most common one tends to be the ionization, as it runs a little cheaper, and photoelectric is also a little bit newer technology. Now, ionization uses a small amount of radiation to detect smoke, whereas the photoelectric uses a light sensing sensor to detect the smoke. So ionization is also going to be better at detecting flaming fires, whereas photoelectric is going to be better at detecting smoldering fires. Now, because of this, ionization tends to react a little bit faster, whereas the smoldering is going to take a little bit longer to actually alert. So an example of where you might put these units is you might want to use the ionization unit in the bedroom because you want to be alerted very quickly. Whereas in the kitchen, you might want a photoelectric unit because it's not going to alert as fast and it's going to catch more of a smoldering fire. Now, of course, all that being said, the best unit, of course, is the combination of the two, where you have the photoelectric and the ionization. All right, so the next thing to consider is the power supply. Is it hardwired or is it a standalone unit? Now, in 1989, they actually started requiring that all new homes be built with hardwired units. So it's pretty safe to say if your house was built before that, it's probably a standalone unit, and if it was built after that, it's probably hardwired. Now, the benefit from hardwired unit is that you're actually getting power to run the unit from the main versus the battery. The other benefit is that they're all connected together. So when one goes off, all the other smoke detectors will go off as well, which is definitely nice to have. Now, the one thing to note about that, though, is that they all need to be compatible with each other to actually work properly. And usually that means you need to stay within the same brand. You can cross brands a little bit, but you're going to have to check the compatibility with each brand. And that's the best way to figure that out for sure. Now, for standalone units, you usually just have a 9-volt battery in there, and you need to make sure you change that out yearly. Nowadays, you can buy them with a 10-year battery as well. This also works for hardwired. Some of them have sealed 10-year batteries as well, but they're a little bit more common in some of the standalone units. All right, so the last thing we want to consider is what we want the smoke detector to do. Do we want it to be just a smoke detector, or do we want it to be a smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector combination? All right, so today I'm going to be changing out this old ionization unit for this new photoelectric unit with a 10-year sealed battery. Now, this is a hardwired unit, so I did need to verify that this unit that I'm putting in will be compatible with everything else. All right, so the first thing we'd want to do in most cases is actually write down our expiration date on this. Now, this is just 10 years from the date you're installing it. The sealed battery ones, usually you don't need to because the battery lasts 10 years. And at the end of that 10 years, it's actually going to alert and tell you that it's ready to be replaced. All right, so next we're just going to remove the unit We'll just grab the unit like that and push up a little bit and twist, and then it'll pull straight down. And then we can go ahead and disconnect the hardwired connection here. Push in on the sides here and remove our hardwired connection. Now we'll go ahead and remove our screws. I'm just going to put these back up here, screw them up. Take my new plate here. Figure out which one of those it fits best in, and then I can adjust. Like that. Push up. Tighten that down. Then we're going to take our smoke detector here and just connect this on. Now, fortunately, in my case, the connector for the old smoke detector will work with the new one. If it does not, if yours does not, there's a connection, there's an adapter made by Kitty that I will link in the description, and you can use that. Push that back up in there like that. Lock it in, and then just twist. There you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you click that link below and become one. And if you learned something new today, make sure you smash the like button and help us out with the YouTube algorithm. And we'll catch you on the next one.